Hey, hello, I'm Kråkan, also known as Chorus Cornix, and welcome to Yacc, yet another Crowcast where I pick a game I played for a week and then I talk about it. This week's game is Solitaire for the Windows. It was released in 1990 and is a digital card game developed by Wes Cherry and published by Microsoft. And also there'll be spoilers up ahead just so you know, but first a little backstory. So about a month ago I listened to NGP, New Game Plus, where they talked about Minesweeper. And it was actually an interesting episode. I couldn't believe there was so much to say about that game. Forward to today, I realized maybe I can do something similar. The Solitaire game was originally included in the Windows 3 bundle in 1990, and the game was made by Wes Cherry while he was working as an intern for Microsoft. So there are 12 different selectable decks in the game with different patterns and motifs. Example of this would be a hand holding cards, a palm tree on a beach, a red robot standing in front of a dark blue background, roses and thorns, 2 decks with clownfish. All these were designed by Susan Kerr. So the game stopped being included in the Windows bundle around Windows 8, but you can still download it from the Windows Store. So how do you play this game? At the top of the screen you have 4 empty slots, and the point of the game is to put each different color in that slot in numerical order from ace to king, ranging from clubs, hearts, diamonds and spades. Also at the top of the screen you will find a deck of cards. If you click this deck of cards you get new cards that you can use. If you click again you get more, and eventually you cycle through them starting from the beginning. Also below the deck of cards you have 7 different piles that you can move cards around on. I also realized at this point that I don't really have to explain the rules of Solitaire, but it will stretch out the episode a bit. So the 7 piles beneath the deck of cards, you can also move the cards around. So there's a specific rule to this that applies. It's a bit hard to explain for me, but if you can only place an opposite color of a card on top of another, and the numbers needs to be higher. Or the example will be if I have the 10 of diamonds, I can only place it on a jack of spades or clubs. So if one of the 7 slots below is empty, you can also put a card there. So this game is a bit like inventory Tetris. So at the bottom of the screen you will find your current score and time. And it's also possible to soft lock yourself in this game. Just like the physical game of Solitaire, not all games are in your favor. So if you manage to soft lock yourself, just go into the main menu and select a new game. It's that simple. So if you manage to place all the cards in the top 4 slots, you will win the game and the cards will rain down on the screen and bouncing all over the place. And that's about it. There are a couple of versions of Solitaire between the different windows, adding sounds and music and other visual effects. So gameplay. The name of the game is Solitaire. Get all the cards up to 4 slots in numerical order in order to win. Control, use the mouse to click, drag and drop cards around. And that's about it. Graphics. So the original game's sprites and art was kind of pixelated, but you can easily tell what you're looking at. So I like Susan's original designs, but not the design that came after. It kind of looks plasticky. Sound and music. The original game didn't have any sound effects as far as I know. At least I didn't hear anything playing this week. But later versions added sound effects and jingles. Easter egg seekers and glitches. I watched a documentary on YouTube by Great Big Story where they interviewed Wes about the game. So he wrote it because he was bored, and it was originally made actually to teach people about how to use the mouse, because back then Windows 3 actually introduced the concept of a mouse, which is kind of crazy. Another weird thing, or a sad thing I should say, is that Wes never got a penny for the game he made, and there's so many wasted office hours playing, like Solitaire. I used to do it at school when I was bored and supposed to do assignments and stuff like that. So I can't imagine, how much time people actually played this game. So in conclusion, I wrote, yes, try it, why not? So I wasted so many hours playing this game, as I said before, just by being bored. So when I was going through school, I had a really hard time learning to read and write. So the school actually sponsored me with a Windows 5 computer, which I was supposed to do assignments on and stuff like that. It was a huge bulky thing, and I actually played way more games on that than I actually did assignments. It's kind of funny how this computer actually shaped me into the person I am today, and being curious about computers and exploring and stuff. So I looked back fondly on these times, and I spent so many hours playing Solitaire. It's kind of ridiculous. I don't really want to know how much time I put into that game, but I did. So yeah, try it, why not? So anyway, thanks for listening and watching, and take care.